I thought it was a good time to check in on the MVP race over at The Athletic. Seth Partnow, he did his MVP tiers a little bit early, I would say, because he did it last week. But Seth, you have an interesting top five, man. This is a very interesting top five. No Jayson Tatum in your top five. How are you doing that one?
I mean, Tatum is an interesting case, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit more. Um, he's a sort of a classic. There are other guys on his team sort of stealing shine from him a little bit. I mean, I think Derek White justifiably getting all-star buzz, and Kristaps Porzingis has been absolutely spectacular for them. I don't know if Porzingis has been the best player on the Celtics, but he's been the most important player on the Celtics. And his health, we talked about Kawhi's health. Porzingis's health is one of those swing things in what the playoffs look like going into it. Is if he's healthy and playing this effectively on both ends for Boston, I think that they're the fairly substantial favorites to come out of the East.
Mo, do you agree
I
with
don't
this?
think there's
Porzingis.
Yeah, no, I Porzingis is the most important player, but he wouldn't be the MVP of that team. Like for me, it does all. The reason why he's important is because we know what Tatum's going to do, right? Like Tatum is the guy for them, right? And that's the important thing. He makes Tatum's job easier. And by the way, that whole Boston team is top six, unbelievable. Like I think there's no question they have the best starting lineup, I think, in the league with everything that they do, the best defensive backcourt. Porzingis is doing a great job on both ends of the floor. Like I think they're, Tatum and Brown, it's solid on both. Like it's just a damn good team, I think, with that. And it's because it's so spread out and there is so much talent on there. It is I actually understand why Tatum wouldn't be in the top five of the MVP race, and sets MVP tiers and whatnot because of that. It's so spread with who's getting shots and the way they kind of are playing. I like it. I mean, their end of game offense needs some work, but that's a whole other story for another time. But I think they are, I'm with Seth, like massive favorites. Like they're a tier above everybody else in the Eastern Conference. I don't know who touches them in the East if they're fully healthy going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's tough for Tatum, right? Because he's the best player, but that group is such high level. I mean, they have six starters.
I mean,
Drew Holiday, look at what the way that they're employing him on defense is very unique. And I mean, that's a guy that he's making a huge change to their team, and it has a huge effect on games on that end. I mean, I think that that's a fair assessment, Seth. I mean, people are going to take it as a knock on Tatum, but really it's more of a statement to just how damn good that team is. I mean, our expectations for the Celtics right now, at least for me, I mean, I expect them to get to the finals.
I mean, the other thing too, though, like Derek White's the second most important guy on that team. That's the other thing, and it's not a knock on Tatum. They're not going to the finals if they don't have Tatum. Like, period, full stop. Like that team's not going to be good enough if they lost to the Pacers and TJ McConnell without Tatum in the game. But they've also, every time they have one of those guys missing, it tends to be a little bit of a step back for them. But White's importance is huge too, just in the backcourt. Like that is the most impressive defensive backcourt I've seen in a very long time with Holiday and White. And I'll have something coming out on The Athletic pretty soon on Boston. And their defense, because you're right. Like they're actually very creative defensively. And you guys know I've been begging for teams to be more creative on that end of the floor. And Boston is doing it with all their guys.